for the scientific measurement test. And if you receive below a 70%, you are going to retake this test. I assume it will be sometime next week, but I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to review. So I'm not going to go ahead and announce the date yet, but it will assumably be sometime next week, okay? It is very important that you write the correct answers down. The retake test, are you listening? I see some people not paying attention. The retake test will not be exactly like this, but there is a table. But maybe instead of having graduated cylinder filled in, it has balance filled in. And instead of having mass filled in, maybe it has length filled in. And instead of having centimeters filled in, maybe it has grams filled in. Does that make sense? Yes. So it's going to be a table just like this. So having the correct answers here is going to be super helpful to you when you're studying. So we need to remember the difference between a tool and a unit. Okay, a tool is what we use to actually do the measuring. A unit is the label that we put on it, okay, on our number. So I think it would be helpful just right here underneath the word tool to put, what do we use to measure? And then here under the unit, let's put label, we put after number. Label after the number. Okay, we know that units are extremely important because it's the difference in, 100 feet and 100 inches are very different things, okay? So, what is the tool that we use to measure mass? Stella F. Balance. Everyone should have the word balance right here. If you didn't put balance, change it. What unit do we use to measure mass? Let's just go with the base unit. So not put kilo or meter or milli in front of it. Levi, grams. Okay, will accept on the retake test, and I did accept on this test if you had kilograms, milligrams, hectograms. Well, we didn't talk about hectos. Okay, graduated cylinder, what does it measure? It doesn't measure mass, it measures what, Ryan? Volume. And then what unit do we use when we talk about volume with the graduated cylinder? Liters. Liters, milliliters, centiliters, kiloliters, right? Okay, what are we measuring when we use centimeters and meters as our unit? What are we measuring then? Okay, even if you got an A or a B on this, you should be raising your hand to help us. Ella. Length. We're measuring length. And what tool do we use to measure length? Kaden?
Meter stick.
Meter stick, or you could have said ruler. Okay, and thermometer. What are we measuring when we use a thermometer? Ryan? Temperature. And then probably the most missed one on this page, a lot of you put degrees Fahrenheit. In science, we use degrees Celsius, so we want to do this. That means degrees Celsius, and some of you just put degrees or just put Celsius. We need both, yes.
I put Celsius backslash degrees.
Right, and you need to have degrees. All right, just good. Just go ahead and correct it. I'm glad you're paying attention. Okay, what tool might we use to measure time? Morgan. A stopwatch is what we used in science when we measured time. Okay, and what unit would we use? What could we label our number with? Eloise. Minutes, seconds, hours, okay? Pick one and that's what you need to put. Is there anyone who needs to see this still, or do we have it filled out? Okay, I'll give you about another minute and then we'll go to the next page. Okay, so the next page, again, your make redo test will have questions just like this, but they will be different measurements, okay? on this graduated cylinder, we needed to see that it was 5, 10, and these lines represent 1 milliliter. So it was 10, 11, 12, and you had to put the label. Look up here in the directions and underline. Don't forget to include the appropriate metric unit. You have to always have a unit with your numbers. Yes, Kaden?
I know what I did wrong. I thought it was going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. But it's actually
I love that you were paying such close attention. Okay, and then here on our ruler, we start at 5 centimeters and we go to 10.5 centimeters. So we needed to subtract. So it's 5.5 centimeters, or you could have also counted like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could not write 5.5. That is not how we've been doing it. We needed to write 5 and 5/10, and the label is centimeters. That is not 5 centimeters and 5 milliliters. It is, but that's not how you write it. You use the decimal point. That is the, thank you. No, 5.5 centimeters.
Yeah, but you said milliliters.
Okay, I didn't mean to say millimeters. It's 5 and 5/10 centimeters. That is how you write that. That is how we wrote it in our packet. Okay, and then on our temperature, we go up to 90, and then we need to decide, Kaden, it looks to me like these are in 2-degree increments. So 92, 94, 95. And you needed to put degrees Celsius like that. Yes.
I actually put it like before the number. It's supposed to be after the number.
Oh, yep, your unit always comes after the number. Yes.
So for the measurement one, I put 7.5 and you did not.
Well, you got lucky, so make sure to correct it. Okay, and then this one is volume of the key. We talked about displacement. If it by itself, it's at 10 milliliters, and then you add the key and it's at 10, 11, 12, 13 milliliters, then you have to subtract to get the volume of just the key. This was probably the most missed question. Okay, so the answer here is 3 milliliters. See, it by itself, the water by itself is 10 milliliters. The water plus the key is 13 milliliters. So you have to subtract to get the volume of just the key. Okay, this back page was kind of a mess. These, a couple of things. And one is a little bit of a formatting issue. And I had a few people do this. Some of you counted this as 5 1/10 kilograms. This is just number 5. Okay, so if you circle that number 5, it's 1 kilogram. It's 1 kilogram. A couple people tried to do 5 1/10 kilograms. Guys, in all of our practice, we never did converting with decimals. We always had whole numbers in all of our practice, okay? So it's 1 kilogram. How many grams is that? 1,000. Okay, please make sure you're correcting. We will do another test. Okay, and then this is 1 meter. How many centimeters is that? Owen?
100.
100 centimeters. 1 centimeter. How many millimeters is that? Lots of hands should be up. How many millimeters are in a centimeter? AJ? 10. Yeah, some of you thought it was 7 1/10 centimeters, and then you put 71 millimeters. Okay, again, in all of our practice, we never did decimals in our conversions. Okay, it's whole numbers. Okay, number 8, 7 centimeters. How many millimeters is that? 70. 7 times 10 or 70. Okay, then we had 4 liters. How many milliliters is that? Levi? 4,000. And then we had 5 centigrams. How many milligrams is that? Stella? 50. Okay, so this will be, the retest will be just like this, except these will be different numbers. These will be different measurements, and different parts of the table will be filled in for you. So this is an excellent study tool for you. Okay, I want you to put a star by this and put keep. And then we're gonna put it in our green science folder, and you're gonna pull it out and use it to study.
Am I like writing on all these right?
No, there was a handful of people, but you did a great job. Okay, if you are not retaking the test, so if you had an A or B, put it in your VIP folder to take home. If you had a C or a D or an F, put it in your green science folder. If you had a C, you need to talk to your mom and dad and ask them, do you want me to retake this test?
This is really great. I got 17.
That's a B+. Good job.